I'm KW Keene, the Mystery of Louie Louie, coming up on Rock Music History Lesson. Here's a song you've heard on the radio, at a birthday party, college, high school, or nightclub. It's the most famous party song of all time. I believe all age groups have probably heard this song at least one time. It's second only to the Beatles' Yesterday as being the most covered pop song of all time, 1,000 and counting. What song are we talking about? Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. The Kingsmen is a garage rock band from Portland, Oregon. The original lineup is Jack Ely, lead vocalist and guitarist, Mike Mitchell, lead guitar, Don Gallucci, keyboards, Lynn Easton, drums, and Bob Nordby on bass. Ely quit the band right after the song was released because Lynn Easton ordered him to play the drums. What's the story behind Louie Louie? R&B singer Richard Berry wrote it in 1955 and recorded it with his band the Pharaohs in 1957. The song is about a sailor who pours out his heart to a bartender named Louie about the girl he misses in Jamaica, and it takes 3 days to travel. Louie Louie became a short-lived regional hit in some U.S. western states. In 1959, Berry, convinced that his song had had its run, sold the copyright for $750 so he could buy an engagement ring for his fiancée, Dorothy. Louie Louie was resurrected in 1961 by Rockin' Robin Roberts and the Wailers with a much more raucous sound. It also failed to chart, but it became very popular. Two local bands from Portland, Oregon, the Kingsmen and Paul Revere and the Raiders, were introduced to the song after hearing Roberts' version and decided to record it themselves. On April 6, 1963, the Kingsmen went into the studio in Portland, Oregon, and recorded Louie Louie. Jack Ely tried to separate fact from fiction in an interview with Alan Handelman. Fiction. Many print stories say the studio was primitive and out of date. Fact. At that time, Ely said it was good for 1963. Fiction. The band recorded Louie Louie and the Flipside Haunted Castle as a demo for working on a cruise ship. Ely says he has no idea how this started. Fact. Why would a top 40 band like the Kingsmen record unfamiliar songs nobody has heard of getting a gig on a cruise ship as a cover band? Fiction. The microphone was dangling, and that's why you can't understand what he's saying. Fact. Ken Chase, a local radio personality in Portland, became their producer. So, to catch what they sounded like live, he had the group set up in a circle in the studio with Ely standing in the middle, singing into the microphone. So after about 8 bars of the song, it still didn't sound right to Chase. A technician was brought in, put the mic on a boom, and stuck it up into the 15-foot ceiling, so the microphone was hanging 18 to 20 inches from the top. Ely was directly under it, leaning his head back and yelling at the microphone. Fiction. The words of the song were unrecognizable because the height of the microphone. Fact. What happened is how words get enunciated when your head is tipped back and you're yelling up into the ceiling. Plus, Ely had strained his voice from doing a 90-minute Louie Louie marathon the night before. Fiction. Ely was wearing braces, which was the reason for unintelligible lyrics. Fact. Yes, he was wearing braces, but Ely says it had nothing to do with his pronunciation. A lot of kids wore braces. After they recorded Louie Louie, Ely said everyone in the band hated it and they thought it sounded horrible. They thought it was a rehearsal, but after one take, Ken Chase, the producer, said it sounded great, so the band said, okay. Even the mistake when Ely began the third verse a few bars too soon and paused while the band caught up was kept. The recording session cost $50 and it sounded like 10. A question that everyone asks, how did it get played in the first place? They pressed 1,000 copies. The 5 of them got 20 copies each, and the rest went into distribution. Nothing happened for several months. That fall, a DJ named Arnie Woo Woo Ginsburg, who worked at a Boston radio station and was also the music director, had a weekly segment of his show where he played what he considered the worst song of the week. When he played Louie Louie for the first time, he told his audience, "We play a lot of music here, and this is one song we won't be playing in the future. It's the worst record I've ever heard." After playing it, the phones lit up. Louie Louie was originally released on Jordan Records. Then a big-time R&B label, Scepter One Records, stepped in with a deal, and the Kingsmen's tune was on its way to becoming a nationwide hit. After Jack Ely left the band, other members followed. By the time Louie Louie was a hit, it wasn't even the same band. Ely started his own version of the Kingsmen. Lynn Easton's mom owned the Kingsmen name and filed a lawsuit against Ely. The footage you see of the Kingsmen singing Louie Louie is not Jack Ely, but drummer Lynn Easton lip-syncing to Ely's vocals. Now, Ely filed a lawsuit to which a settlement was agreed upon, and whenever the band performed Louie Louie, Easton would have to sing the lyrics, and Ely would not use the band's name. Now, the investigation. In late 1963, Louie Louie had reached number 2 on the Billboard charts and stayed there for 6 weeks. In early 1964, the FBI launched an investigation into the song after the governor of Indiana, Matthew Welsh, said it was pornographic. Indiana banned stations from playing the song because of the unintelligible lyrics. How did the investigation start? This is where the different stories begin. 1. When the father of a teenage girl wrote to Robert Kennedy, who then the Attorney General, complained about the possibility of the lyrics being obscene. 2. Jack Ely said it started when a teenager's mother was a good friend of the wife of the governor of Indiana. The mother's daughter said to the mom, "If you play Louie Louie at 33, it sounds dirty." Do you know what Louie Louie sounds like at 33? Louie Louie. The mom calls her friend, the governor's wife, and Indiana's governor banned the song. Then the FBI got involved and interviewed the Kingsmen, Richard Berry. They interviewed the producer, the record label, Paul Revere, and the Raiders. But the one person they did not interview was the person that sang the song, Jack Ely. Now the rumors have started, and the FBI is really interested now. College students began passing out copies of what they thought the lyrics said. The song is about a Jamaican girl written in Jamaican dialect. Here are the lyrics. Louie Louie, oh no, me gotta go. I said, Louie Louie, oh baby, me gotta go. Fine little girl waits for me. Catch a ship across the sea. Sail that ship about all alone. Never know if I make it home. Louie Louie, oh no. 3 nights and days I sail the sea. Me think of girl constantly. On that ship I dream she's there. I smell the rose in her hair. See Jamaica, the moon above. It won't be long, me see me love. Me take her in my arms and then tell her I'll never leave again. Louie Louie, oh no, me gotta go. I said, Louie Louie, oh baby, me gotta go. And these lines were basically added at the end of the recording. Let's take it on out of here now. Let's go. Even though the FBI contacted the record label Wand Records and acquired a copy of the original lyrics, they didn't think they were the actual lyrics by the Kingsmen, so they still launched an investigation. Some FBI agents sat around listening to record players, listening to the song, playing it forward, playing it backward, playing it at different speeds to find the hidden dirty lyrics. They found the song unintelligible at any speed. The FBI spent 2 years investigating the lyrics of Louie Louie and never tried to find out where the dirty lyric sheets were coming from. Here's a copy of the actual FBI file in February 1964 stating they received a complaint from Sarasota High School in Sarasota, Florida with enclosed dirty lyrics. Here's another document dated December 1965. And it states, Assistant U.S. Attorney General Robert J. Grace thoroughly reviewed the results of the investigation and goes on to say there was no evidence of a violation of the Federal Interstate Transportation of Obscene Matter statutes. Therefore, no further investigation in this matter be conducted. So here is something the FBI missed. Jack Ely says 54 seconds into the song, and Lynn Easton has admitted, he drops one of his drumsticks and yells the F word. You'll find the link to the Louie Louie video in the description box, and you can hear for yourself if you listen close enough. A lot of bad things happened in 1963 to 1965. John F. Kennedy, the President of the United States, sadly was assassinated in November 1963. You had mobsters, gangsters, all kinds of bad things going on. But the FBI spent money and their resources trying to find the dirty lyrics in a 3-chord song. How did that work out for you? Paul Revere and the Raiders recorded a version of Louie Louie in the same studio. Some have said the day after, others have said several days. After the passing of Jack Ely in 2015, by the way, he was 71, Mark Lindsay of Paul Revere and the Raiders posted this tweet on Twitter. To settle it once and for all, Jack Ely, the Kingsman, recorded Louie Louie 3 days before the Raiders. And you had the grittier version, Jack. The song was featured in various movies. Perhaps one of the more famous is the movie Animal House in 1978 starring John Belushi. A hilarious debate between the Libner brothers over the real lyrics can be seen in the 1990 movie Coupe de Ville. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, Richard Berry struggled financially. Somewhere between the late 80s to early 90s, things changed when Berry regained his rights to Louie Louie. Reports of his first check being for the amount of several $1 million. Berry performed throughout the early 90s at various concerts around the country. Berry died a rich man in 1997. Like us, share, and if you've liked this content, hit the subscribe button. Also, you'll see a link to one of our other videos. Check it out. Thanks for watching Rock Music History Lesson. I'm KW King.